Today's episode is brought to you by our good friend and sponsor Brian Miller over at United Real Estate Chicago, the only realtor Mike and I trust when buying or selling a home. Links are in the description below.
Are you thinking about buying or selling a home? Or maybe you just have questions about the real estate market. Hi, I'm Brian Miller, and I'm a licensed real estate professional serving the Chicagoland area. People know to call me when they need a problem solved. Through research, troubleshooting, and asking the right questions, there isn't an issue that we can't overcome together. If you're buying, I'll help you find the home that fits your wants and needs. If you're ready to sell, my goal is to get your home in front of the masses and do everything it takes to net you the most money. Since entering the industry in 2014, I've experienced navigating various types of markets, as well as assisting clients with short sales, probates, and selling homes that have been sitting on the market. In other words, if you want to work with an award-winning real estate agent, make the process as easy and stress-free as possible, you've come to the right place. Thanks for watching, and if you have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out. I'm Brian Miller, and I can't wait to connect with you.
Hey, welcome to IMO In My Opinion with J&M. Jonathan, how are you, sir?
Hey, what's going on?
Hey, look, I turned it on. Look,
yeah,
no mute.
First time in like 3-4 weeks.
3-4 years, but okay.
Let's make a memo saying that.
What's your memo?
Tell the guests that they can wear whatever they want because I feel completely like underdressed right now. You're doing too much. A white beater and flip flops are fine.
I mean, maybe we should step up our game. What do you think?
You're gonna start wearing a collared shirt?
No,
I didn't think so.
I can wear the blazer over a shirt. I guess I can do that. How are you, sir? Besides your memo,
good. You know, we never got to talk about that little film thing you had.
We mentioned it, but
I tried to, and you were like, "Oh."
I think we can save that for maybe the end. Maybe I'll write it down.
All right.
Film. Got it. All right. So we have a guest today. He is an actor, producer, director. Yes, amongst other things, podcaster as well.
Podcaster, writer's the main thing I like to always
writer as well.
Writer, yeah.
I will let him introduce himself.
Okay, so I am Sonny Kruger. I am the writer of quite a few stories like the Dead Trilogy, Positive Trilogy, Killing Set in Motion, To Be Alive and Desired. And one of my series is called A Series About a Series. That's where I also direct and act and do many things for. And then, like you mentioned, I'm also the host of the Codex podcast, which is with the Codex station.
Cool. So here's the $1 million question. What do you like the best out of all of that stuff?
I always like to pick writer. I still always say writing is my favorite, is my top.
And why do you like writing?
Just my favorite stories. It's almost like for me, it's like watching a movie or a show in my head. It's like it just plays. You know, before I write notes, and then I get in front of my laptop. It's like the movie's playing in front of my head, and I just hitting the buttons, and I'm just enjoying myself, enjoying a good time.
That's pretty cool, man. I'm gonna give you kudos because it's hard to do a lot of that. Like it's not easy. Writing, producing, directing, acting, all that stuff's hard, man. Like I find it very challenging. I don't know about you, but like, what's the most challenging part for you?
Let's see, challenge. Maybe finding locations. Be the toughest thing. I mean, like acting, I get into it. I like it, and directing, I like to more focus on what I do, like my written stories. Acting, I'm looking to get out there to act in my stuff. Like I said, I act in a series about a series, but I want to act in other things as well, in other movies, short films, all kinds of things.
You have training?
That's what I'm looking to get. The first time I signed up for classes, the pandemic hit, and it was like, no.
Oh yeah, everything was all kind of shut down, and now it's all like virtual, which I'm not a fan of.
So now I got to get back out there and find some more classes and get out there. But I'm enjoying it and just learning on camera, learning as I do it.
Awesome. So what's something in that you find challenging in it? Like, what's the hardest thing that you would say besides locations? Let's go into the creative part of it.
Locations in Chicago is one of the easiest things.
No.
Money-wise makes it tough.
Stay away from the south side. But
I guess.
Aside from that.
That's
the money-wise makes it the tough thing. So I can find places, but then it's like, I don't have all that money to spend $1,000 for
Beautiful forest preserves. If you want to
Record at his job.
Yeah, you can record something at my job.
He might be able to sneak you into where the moose is.
Elk.
The elk. Sorry.
Moose.
The elk. My bad.
Jesus.
I will keep that in mind.
If you ever write something with wildlife, yeah, let me know.
If you want to do a film about cutting grass, he's got all the equipment for that. It's got the John Deeres.
Why do you got to demean my...
You do a crucial service to the city of Elk Grove.
It's not for
It's a very... It's why you're in Elk Grove.
Yeah,
that's why you have an elk.
Schaumburg,
Elk Grove.
that area.
So what was your first video project? What was the first thing?
The very first was the pilot of a series about a series. Now they usually say people should take on like a short film, but I was just really feeling it. And I said, no, I do things different.
He said series right
I'm
off the bat.
go for the pilot, yeah.
Yeah.
I want the pilot. That's what I need to focus on. And we were able to do it because, it's based on the book that I wrote. And episode 1 that's on YouTube is pretty much scene for scene with the book.
That's pretty cool.
And then episode 2, a little different, but mostly still the same
Did you have to
story.
rewrite?
So I adapted it from my normal writing is almost like, it's very script-like. So it wasn't too hard for me to go from the book
to
screenplay.
Okay.
So I did that, because it's, it helps everybody else out too. Like I know how I want it, but like I'd say working with actors and stuff, it's easier for them if it's in screenplay form.
And where'd you find all your talent? I know a few people that were in your shorts in your series. So where'd you find your talent from?
I just put it out there on Facebook, like actors groups, filmmaking groups.
Yeah.
Like, hey, I'm making a series. This is my first one. Who's interested? And quite a few people got in touch with me. So we got in touch. Like I said, then the pandemic hit, and then eventually it was like, okay, well, we can do auditions through Zoom, and then now I still really like Zoom auditions. I think it's kind of easier for most of us.
Yeah, it definitely.
It's like instead of being like, hey, come out here, when are you free? It's kind of like
do it when you get a chance, just
when you get a chance.
before this date. But even then, people are very, very unprofessional when it comes to that stuff. Like I'm still look at.
Well, Michael, what do you mean?
Hold on. So there, I have a girl.
Who are you talking about?
I'm not gonna say her name.
Oh, come on.
She's a good girl, and I'm gonna give her time. Obviously, I'm not filming my next one till later on in the summer. Yeah. But like, I sent her. She wanted to do it. She's like, yeah, I'll do it. Then she wrote back to me maybe like a month later. She's like, oh, I'm having whatever, blah blah. No, you don't even have to give me an excuse. I don't care about your excuse. That sounds horrible to say.
Yeah.
I don't need an excuse. Just let me know when you can get it. Right? Oh, maybe I can get it next week. Okay, cool, no problem. Next week comes and goes, and then she writes to me again. Oh my God, I'm so terrible, and this and this and this. And I'm like, this is already happening, and we're just in the audition phase, But what really irks me the most is like, you tell me you don't got time for it, or you're busy or whatever, but then you're posting things on social media. You do little videos on social media, but you can't do an audition.
People kind of out themselves with that stuff.
Yeah.
Like, you got to be smart about that.
Like, I'm very punctual when I say I'm going to do something, right? Like, I'm very on time, and I'm Puerto Rican, so my excuses, I should have the excuse that I'm always fucking late, but I'm not. John's another one. John is the most punctual person I've ever met in my life.
I tell you, I'm going to be at your house at 6 o'clock, 5:59.
Yeah, he's there.
Right there.
He told me today I'm going to be at the house at 5:30. He pulled up behind me. Yeah, he pulled up behind me on time. It's a rarity. And I get it that life comes up, right? Because I'm pretty sure, did you run into problems like that with no shows or late calls or whatever?
So far, no. Every now and then someone say, hey, I'm running a little late. I know traffic, and I live in Chicago, so I get that. But there was when I did make sure to have auditions, even for parts that were, small parts, not big. Every part I like to have auditions, because if you can't show up to an audition, even if it's Zoom, that shows you're not going to show up to the day.
It's a red flag.
At work. Yeah.
That's a red flag.
So,
I don't care how talented you are, but if you're not going to show up on time, what's your talent worth to me at this point,
So everyone who made it to the auditions, who passed, who I was like, okay, you got the part. So far, I've been lucky and good that everyone has made it.
Yeah. Good man.
Well, if you're a writer, are you like a stickler? Does everything have to be like verbatim?
Stickler for a tickler?
No, in the beginning, I almost wasn't sure, but then when I would see people, sometimes I would understand, like, okay, maybe they're getting it word for word, but they sound better when they're doing it their way. And like, that sounds better. Sounds more realistic. So I'm going to go with that take.
Yeah.
As opposed to being word for word.
Okay.
For myself, if I get it wrong, I'll be like, how dare I? get it wrong. But everybody
You're
else,
the writer, though.
understand,
You
yeah.
can change things. You, of all people, can change something. You wrote it. See, I had this problem. I had this problem on set.
It's like you had a lot of problems.
We did. Easily solvable problems, though. I had a thing with someone who was saying that, why was I changing things? I'm like, wait a minute. It's my project. I wrote it. I don't have to give you a reason why I changed something. You do, because you just can't change things. I'm not saying I won't allow you to change things, but you just can't change things of this plot.
Well,
I can.
The
I wrote it.
writer, like you said, you have a thing in your head and you start typing. So the writer has the idea in his head, and that's what he's going with. And if somebody comes and starts changing things around, it kind of like maybe fucks with it a little bit.
But that's okay. But I think you can do it. There's ways of doing that, right? Like,
You discuss it with someone. Like, hey,
correct.
I'm thinking about changing this. Yeah.
like if I'm doing a part for you, and I see something, okay, I see I can do this way, or I'd bring it up to you first. I'm not just gonna go and do it, right? And then not really, especially if I'm gonna change a drastic thing about the character. You get what I'm saying? There's a way to approach the situation. I think just doing it is kind of disrespectful, right? Because I understand, like, I'm an actor, right? So like, I understand that you grab text and you kind of got to make it, into a character. I get all that, but there's ways you have to work with your director to make something good. If not, then you're just going above them, which is, to me, disrespectful, I would say.
Yeah, just discuss it. Like I said, I have no problems. I even tell everybody before we start, if there's anything, any questions, concerns, let me know. And if somebody says, hey, I think I say it better like this, I'm usually like, okay, fine.
Because I need a swivel chair, John. I
Swivel
definitely
chair.
need a swivel chair.
For what?
I had an issue with someone over a swivel chair.
Oh.
Never mind. We won't talk
No,
about it.
I've had no problems like that about chairs.
Since you mentioned locations, where'd you film?
I did some filming at my house. I live with my fiance, so some filming at our house, some filming at my mother takes care of my grandpa, so some filming there, and then some at IndieDB Studios. But I know they always change the name, but when I was filming there, it was IndieDB Studios.
Cool. I went there once.
But you didn't care for it so much.
I wasn't
right?
that big of a fan. I mean, okay.
What?
Let me clarify. I wasn't.
I'm still waiting for our podcast to come out. We
Oh
shot
God!
a
It
podcast.
never.
Oh no.
That's in the archive, bro.
Okay.
We're never gonna see it. That's gonna be released when whenever we become famous and they have something on there that we said that was stupid. I had nothing against the idea of what it was, right? I think helping and supporting indie films is awesome. I had issues with the guy who ran it, his philosophy and his demeanor and how he represented himself. It was more of a personal thing with me. And I can't align myself with someone that I disagree so much with when it comes to how he acts, speaks, represents himself. Because in a way, he represents all of us. If you're part of it, if I was part of it, he would also be representing me in a way. You know what I'm saying?
Kind of, sort of.
You get? I mean, if I'm a member of it, I'm like
Or
almost.
people just assume that you're working with him, so you
must agree
line
with
up
him.
with his ideas.
You know, and he was
sort of.
very, I don't know, very vocal and blah blah blah. But I heard he's long gone now. He took his riches and kind of ran or whatever the hell. I don't know what happened. I wasn't there long enough for that. But neither here nor there.
Like you said, if you don't get along with someone, then it's fine to just say, hey, we don't get along. We don't work together. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I never really crossed paths with him too much. I think he just said something
on
stupid
Facebook.
one time on Facebook but that's, people say a lot of stupid things on Facebook. So what was your process? You wrote it. You got your actors together. You got your locations. How did you attack it? Were you a one-man crew? How'd it work?
Mostly me and my fiance. Fiance, my love, my Maria. In June will be 7 years together.
Round of applause for her.
Yes. Thank you for a round of applause. Yeah.
7 years and you're still not married. Right?
Yeah, almost.
See, John?
We're trying to get there.
I mean, I got you beat by
He's got
like
you
a
beat.
decade and a half.
That's
but-
the only reason I brought it up, because he's got you beat by like 13 years.
Okay, so then I don't seem so bad
No,
then.
no. You can go
what
back
it
and tell her, hey, this guy's been like fucking 20 years.
We're good. We're good where we are. Good.
I'm the one trying to convince her to do it sooner, though.
Oh, really? All right, well.
But yeah, mostly did. She's not into film. Like I'm into film, and I love movies, TV shows, all of that. And she mostly did it based out of just her love for me, for helping me out. Like she knows how much it means to me. So it's mainly us. And then every now and then we go somewhere, we have someone help out. And even to also there's one of my best friends, Keith. He's been a friend of mine since we were teenagers. His parents have a bar in their basement. I needed a bar.
Nice.
You could film there. So there you go. His parents helped us out with filming at the bar. And then most places, yeah, we just set up, do what we can, and learn about a little bit of movie magic. Maybe if something has to be blank, okay, just don't film that part. Film over here, film here, make it look like it's this big, nice place. And then too, in the beginning, I wanted to, of course, be as close to perfect as possible. But then sometimes I said, okay, you learn from this. And once you watch it, once it's done, don't keep beating yourself up. Any mistake you catch, just say, okay, next time I will not do that again. So there are certain mistakes I've caught in the first one. And I'm like, okay, next episode, I don't do that again.
I think that's key, is really looking at what you do and realizing mistakes is key. And like you just said, like trying not to make the same ones. Nigga, we're all going to make fucking mistakes. None of us are fucking...
Hey, especially if it's your first one.
Yeah. So you got your locations, actors, your girls helping you, which is awesome. What's your next step? What's your day one look like?
It's just picking out a scene, going along with everyone too. What does your schedule look like? When are you free? How do you feel about this scene? How long will it take you? And we do like a Zoom rehearsal a couple days before just to see kind of how we're all doing. And then the day comes, we're meeting up. Here it is. And basically film.
Go for it.
Yeah, go for it. I do like to do quite a few takes of each. Some on me, some on them, some where we see everybody, just in case, because you never know. Sometimes it may seem like it's the perfect take, and suddenly something happens with the camera, or you hear a loud noise. So I get quite a bit.
Focus becomes a fucking problem.
Yes.
Oh man, learning technical stuff is a challenge in itself. What equipment did you guys use?
Just regular cameras. I'm trying to think off the top of my head.
Should have wrote this stuff down. Come on, man. Gotta be
I
prepared.
was thinking about all this other stuff, and then about what kind of camera. Yeah,
Did you guys borrow any stuff from the studio place? They usually had. At least I'll give them that. They had a bunch of great gear.
They
From,
do.
what was it called? IMO.
IndieDB.
Yeah.
They
had amazing equipment.
They did, but I just wanted to use my own stuff because I didn't want to deal with checking out and sometimes renting. Let's say if somebody lost a piece, now I have to deal with, hey,
to you or whatever.
where's the piece? Yeah, or somebody didn't return it back on time. I'm like, I just like to have my stuff. I learn to use my things. And then a lot of the times I stay up all night and I sleep during the day. And sometimes I'll do filming or something at night. And I'm like, if I'm renting this out, I'm going to have it the whole night through. Whereas if it's mine, I can do what I want. I can use it whenever I feel like it.
That's a lot smarter. That was the tactic I did. Because I remember when he started.
I remember that.
When he started renting, I was like, that's a good idea. But at the same time, I'm like, I'd rather have my own stuff because I can just do it whenever the hell I want. I'm not at the mercy of things being available or whatever, which, again, it takes an investment, right? Everything takes an investment. But, there's something. What's the thing Kanye used to say? YOLO? You only live once? Okay, you only live once.
I guess.
He gets mad because I feel like sometimes I'll call him, hey, I kind of want to do this. More money. So how did you learn, or where did you learn, or what was your ideas of like how you wanted to film? Like besides obviously watching films, because there's general rules in filming, obviously. Did you do research? Where did you do research? Who did you follow? Who was your director you like to emulate?
There was many directors, so it is hard for me to pick one. But I looked online.
University of YouTube.
Yeah, University of YouTube.
Yeah, it works.
Exactly.
It works.
And then too, just also taking out my camera, testing certain things myself. Like I said, that's why I like to have my own, so that whenever I feel like it, I can test something out and see how it works. If I like it, it doesn't look so good, or let me take a chance and try it for this. But yeah, mainly just like I said, the University of YouTube.
So what's one thing you think you did wrong in your projects? Like if something you can pinpoint one thing, I'm like, man, I can do that better. What would you say?
I think I would say maybe I could set up places a little bit better. every now and then I'll notice something like, okay, I set this part up, but in the back is a little empty. I could set it up a little better. Or lighting sometimes, like somebody who knows a lot more about lighting or certain sound would be able to call me out and say, oh, I could fix that. I'll catch little things.
I think it's interesting because I really dug really deep whenever I did a short film like maybe 3 years ago.
Something like that.
The one I did
First
with
one.
Mina, yeah. I did that one like 2-3 years ago, and I did a lot of research. I'm a research dude. Like I spend hours Googling how to do this, how to do, like my Google search for a long time was how to make a film look cinematic. That was my Google search of the year, right? You know, trying this out, doing this. What camera can you start with that can give you this look? Blah 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 blah. Lighting is a weird one for me because now mind you, I shouldn't talk because there's lights in this room, right? In our short film that we just worked on, the one that's going to premiere tomorrow, how many times did we use light, John? Like we actually had a light, but when you were there,
Not much.
not much, right?
No.
I think we had it maybe one scene in the church.
Yeah.
I think we had a
possibly.
light, and it was
Yeah.
like one of these round ones, and that was it. It's funny because I feel like, and I see a common mistake. I don't know if you would agree. I can tell when someone is using a light. And to me, I feel like the idea should be that you can't tell that you're using a light.
Make it look natural.
Correct.
Yeah.
Like a lot of times, like I'll watch indie films that, you know, whatever, end up wherever. And I watch them because I like to, you know, I like to kind of support, you know, I'll give it a click. But like you can always tell. And one of the give for me in certain films is like I can really see the shadow on the wall that the light is giving off. And then they're like you can tell they're under a spotlight, you know? And it's like, I don't want to say it's an easy fix because it's not really. It's kind of a sophisticated thing. Like white balance is key. Like let's white balance, people. Put a white card in front. There's an auto function on the camera. Press it. Use it. That will make that'll solve a lot of your things.
Sonny, he wasn't lying when he says he gets into the technical stuff. Like he delves deep into it.
So I remember Googling my first camera was a Canon M50. Decent camera for $500. I Googled the shit out of that. But then when we started working with Diego, with my partner, he had Blackmagic cameras. Google search, Blackmagic. How do we do this? Because now you've stepped up like dramatically compared to like one of these Sonys or whatever. I find it fucking interesting. I don't know about you. Like, do you like the technical aspect of it? Or you rather just say, I rather have a cinematographer.
I like to do the writing in the
Sorry,
story.
I just talked for like 5 minutes for no
Yeah,
reason.
you did.
Great.
About
Sorry.
light.
I apologize.
About a fucking light bulb.
Sorry.
Come on.
When it comes to that, it's more like I have to push. Like, hey, you got to learn this.
Okay, here's something I saw in your series thing. I think Dorothy tells you something about who should get the credit for the writing in a movie, the author or
the screenplay, right?
Yeah. So thoughts on that?
Because now we're in this writer's strike right now too, which is an interesting one. So let's
Yeah, like I said, because it is both because the author obviously made the story, but then the screenwriters I don't think do get much credit. Like you said, like in the scene where she says they give it all to the author, where it is the screenwriter who has to take a story and has to make it into this show that we all, like a show or a movie that we watch and we say, oh, you know, for instance, let's say Game of Thrones, right? I love Game of Thrones, and it was based on the books, but George R.R. Martin didn't write the series. He didn't adapt his novels into screenplay form, but everyone says, oh, Game of Thrones, reach out to George R.R. Martin. So I think both should get credit. You know, if you like both.
I never even put any thought into that until, and then when I saw it in your film, I was like, all right, it is a totally different thing. It's a totally different adaptation that you have to go through.
Yeah, sometimes there are major differences. Like let's use Michael Christian or Crichton's book, Jurassic Park. Like Jurassic Park, the book is drastically different than the actual film. Almost to say that the screenplay is a completely different story in itself. yes, the characters are kind of the same and the concept is the same, but like
Yeah.
they're drastically different. You know, so who gets credit there? Because the screenwriter basically created another story based on the characters you created, but they're just borrowing your characters.
I mean, let's be honest. The author is always going to get the bulk of the credit.
Well, yeah, I guess.
They
And now
usually
we're in
do.
a-
I think both should, but yeah.
And now we're in a strike. Here's a better question, since we're in this writer's strike going on right now. So the argument I'm assuming is for money. I'm going to guess, right? Now, I do agree that the writers should get money.
Not for more ink and paper.
I know. Or felt pens or feathers. I think they should get paid, right? Here's my
If not
question.
more.
How much is enough for a writer?
Yeah, that is a pretty tough one.
I don't even know how much
it
they get
depends
paid
how much
now.
the budget
Like,
is.
what-
Yeah.
what are we talking about
I read
here?
somewhere that's like 3% of the budget.
Probably get more. Like, I mean, 'cause
Now,
they-
imagine if it's a Marvel film. If it's a Marvel film at $200 million, 3% of $200 million is a pretty good check.
How many writers do you got?
Sure. I mean, we don't
Assuming
know that.
There's plenty.
But here's my question again. And this is where I feel like, and I'm just arguing for the sake of arguing. Who deserves the bulk of the money in a production? If we had the list, who would you say?
I know, like, I'm a little biased because writing is
Go
always my
ahead, say it.
favorite. But
You can say it, it's fine.
I think a writer should definitely get at least one of the top pays, because yes, an actor does sometimes bring in, who's watching. Sometimes people just see an actor and they say, "Oh, I like them. I'll see that movie regardless of how it is." But a writer makes what you say. If it's terrible dialogue, people can get that movie's cheesy.
yeah.
It's bad.
See, I would argue. I agree with you. They should get paid. But I think when it comes to, and I'm not talking like directors, production side, I'm talking like writers and actors. Actors, if you don't have actors that are good, right? You have words on a page. You have actors that just say words that are not going to deliver the word the way you want them, because that's a talent in itself. The writers write the word, but the delivery of the word is what makes it powerful.
Yeah, you do need it.
Correct?
Because
You know what I'm
that's why
saying?
you
Yeah,
do
but
need
it's
the
not
actor
gonna be
because
powerful if it's shitty writing.
Correct. But
So-
a good actor has a better chance of grabbing shitty writing and maybe making it something good than the opposite. You grab good writing and you give it to a shitty actor, it's gonna come out shitty.
I think it's one and the same.
I think
Yeah,
I think
no.
one way is a little bit more lenient. Like you put a shitty script and you give it to Gary Oldman, Gary Oldman's gonna nail it.
You and
You
Gary
give a
Oldman,
shitty script to
stop
Arnold
with Gary
Schwarzenegger,
Oldman.
it's just gonna be shitty. It's just gonna be
he's make it
shitty.
Great.
No, he's not.
All the Terminator fans are going to show up to their movie.
You get what I'm saying? And
yeah,
I'm just
I do,
arguing
yeah.
just for sake of argument.
Yeah, because that is one thing where it does take everybody. Even too, like they say a good director can make a bad actor look good.
Yes.
That is the thing. Like I said, you want the actor to deliver the line, to make your line powerful,
Right.
as opposed to just like saying it and sounding like they're reading it.
Like Siri's reading it. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like
like-
this.
Not the way.
Like
it was.
I read for him.
Correct.
We
When
have
he reads,
auditions.
what do you
Might
mean?
as
We
well
have
have
auditions.
Siri.
We don't have shit. I have auditions. You're my reader, and you sound
Well,
like
yeah,
Siri.
that's what I
I
mean,
might as well
yeah.
ask Siri to do it. She might say it better than you sometimes.
Very mechanical.
I don't know. I just find it. I also, again, I don't know how much money would appease them, right? Because it's always that. It's always like
right off the bat, I would say 3% doesn't seem like a lot.
I could
somebody
agree.
who's-
But then who's gonna take the cut? Because mind you, the budgets aren't gonna change. What's gonna change is who's gonna get cut, right?
And
So if
there's
you say you
certain
cut it from the
ways.
actors, if you cut it from the actors, you're gonna lose some of the actors, and guess what the actors are gonna do?
Get less extras.
Then they're gonna strike. This is like a never-ending fucking battle.
Use CGI for extras.
Because
You
that
don't
is
have
one
to pay
thing. Sometimes
anybody.
when you see like, because I've done quite a bit of extra work, stand-in work, and sometimes I see, and I'm like, you got 100 people here, and you used like 5 of them.
Yeah, it seems like
Like actor-wise,
overkill.
or like just
Sometimes
overall?
extra
Just
wise,
extras?
even to sometimes when you just look around, you could find certain things in film. Like, is that really necessary? Is that really necessary? So if they cut a little bit off here, a little bit off there, then I think they can make some more money. save some more for the writers.
Like, didn't you play basketball on that cop show?
I would have done that for free though.
They did. Well, they got to get suckers like you to do
I mean,
stuff for free.
but if they want to pay me $200 for it, I'll do it. I'll take two. I mean, it's not like extras
know
get
you
paid a
will.
shit ton either. You can't make a fucking career out of being an extra. If you're a retired school teacher, then I guess yes, you could make a career.
yeah,
out of
little
it.
fun.
But
but I'm
extra
assuming
money.
Yeah.
for a whole feature film, you're paying a lot for extras.
no, I mean you're paying a lot because of the massive amounts of them, but they're
That's
all
what I'm
getting the
saying.
same amount.
That's what I'm saying.
But in some scenes require them though. Some scenes
Yeah,
require
some
them.
do.
Like if okay, I'll give you an example. Again, remember we were talking about when James Gordon gets shot in The Dark Knight, right?
Mm.
All these police officer extras, right? Because they're all extras. Every single one of them's a fucking extra, except for the obviously the little actors that are in between.
Yeah.
If you want that type of look, you need to have them. You know, and if your story was written that way, if the author wrote it that way, because I'm a big fan of respecting the fucking writers, right?
Yeah.
The writer wrote, we need 100 people. There should be 100 people. You need to pay them. I don't think extras should be free. It's work,
No, not free.
you know. But I hope this stops soon. But then, what's the whole AI thing? I heard AI is like going to be a big problem.
You ever
Like, cause
seen
they
something
write
about
shit,
it?
it writes shit for you or some shit. Is that what it is?
I think when it comes to AI, yeah, a lot of people, even to like join, obviously film groups on Facebook and actor groups, and I see writers groups, and I see a lot of people like, well, how does anybody feel about having AI write part of the script? And I'll say it. If you use AI to write part of your script, it shows laziness and it shows your lack of confidence in yourself and your storytelling ability.
Absolutely.
Why should I want to watch your 2-hour movie that you weren't even interested enough to write the full thing of?
But
He's
it's
got a
cheap.
point. Wait,
I mean,
wait
I'm-
up.
But I love
I
it. You're
get what you're
supposed to
saying.
love what you
mind
do.
I'm just
yeah.
arguing just for argument's sake.
No problem.
What? How does that even? Is it like Mad Libs? You just throw some words at it, and it'll like. If
Probably.
you're doing Titanic.
Probably something like
Jack,
that.
Jack Rose floating on
on a door.
and then he just
One freezes to
spitballs
death.
something out. That's
I
kinda
probably
weird.
wouldn't even. I'm pretty sure it's not far from that. I'm pretty sure it's not far.
There
From
have been videos where people have had AI write scripts and they've done like little videos to make how it is like into an actual little short films and they're pretty funny because they're so bad. Like if it's like write a horror movie, it's like randomly a guy with a hockey mask takes a knife and stabs the person. Oh, she breaks her ankle.
See, that's the thing. I
Takes the
think
typical
I think
stuff.
AI would only be able to use what existed because it wouldn't be able to create something on its own yet
Exactly.
until Arnold comes out from a bubble
Yeah.
in the middle of California naked. Speaking of AI, anybody hear did we talk about the fucking AI program that said it wanted to destroy humankind? Anybody hear about that? So AI is in its early like development, right? And then the big deal right now, because I think who's the guy who owns Tesla? Elon.
Musk.
He's worried about AI. Like he's like, this is gonna be the end of
Yeah,
humanity.
he probably grew up. He watched Terminator 2 when he was like 15.
And he was saying that the problem's gonna be how do we govern it? How do we keep it from getting smarter than we are, right? Because what's the challenge? What's like, the reason if AI was to be legitimate, right? Like created, it listens to us because we're smarter than it. We still need to feed it. What happens after we fed it so much that it doesn't need us anymore? You know, and literally like some program,
Judgment Day.
Judgment Day, some program apparently said that like it knows that humanity is its own like worst enemy. So like
Yeah.
to protect humanity, it will kill humanity.
That makes a lot of sense.
That's crazy,
AI
dude.
for you.
That's fucking crazy. And the fact that we're only like
And
we're
you're
already
trusting it to write scripts? I don't think so.
I'm trusting an Arnold Schwarzenegger to come save us all.
Yeah,
That's what
not
I'm
gonna
waiting.
happen.
That's what I'm waiting for. Did anybody see that gala thing?
The
Met
Met-
Gala.
The Met Gala?
I've seen little pictures and stuff. Yeah.
Anybody find it hilarious? I found
They
it.
do go all out.
Oh my god, like
Were
insane.
the Kardashians there? I heard they weren't invited.
No, they were there. They were there.
That's a shame.
I mean, Bad Bunny and his new girlfriend were there. Oh, seriously. Like, come on, man. Like, I mean, he's one of us, right? Because he's Puerto Rican. He's actually from where my mom grew up, and like, I think he went to school with one of my cousins or whatever. Like, bro, just dress normal, man. Come on,
For
man.
once.
Yeah, like I mean, I get that you have to be kind of different. I get it, but like,
I guess especially there too.
I mean, that's what it's for. I guess.
They
Like I feel
encourage
like
it.
I feel like it's very known to be very dramatic and over
Fashion
the top or
forward, yeah.
whatever.
And a lot of them are paid to do stuff like, let's say designers are like, oh, I'll pay you this much money if you go there wearing my outfit and you say I'm wearing so and so.
We were actually talking about
I
this.
guess I would do it, even though I don't like it.
Yeah.
If somebody gave me an outfit and said, Sonny, I'll give you $100,000 if you wear this crazy outfit for a day.
Hold on.
I'd be like, this is an awesome outfit.
We were talking about this at work.
Yeah.
I would agree with you if it was me, John, and you. Yes, because if you offer me money, a good amount of money, I'll wear whatever the fuck you want. Now, do you think Bad Bunny or Jared Leto or any famous rich person,
Like they got money already. Yeah.
do you think that they don't care about what they wear? Because one of my coworkers was like, no, I mean, they're getting money. So, the designers have the final say. I'm like, I don't know. I think to a certain extent, yes. But once you reach a certain like status in life as an actor or performer or whatever,
Yeah.
I think he really cares about what he wears. Because at the end of the day, like Versace, if Versace's giving Bad Bunny clothes, you know who Bad Bunny is, right?
Yep.
If Versace's giving Bad Bunny clothes, who's benefiting there? Bad Bunny or Versace? I would say Versace,
Versace, yeah.
right?
Advertisement. Yeah.
So it would behoove them to please him, not the other way around. Right? So, I mean, I think they have more say in what they wear than what we think, unless you're if you're a lower tier actor or whatever, then I guess you take the money and look like a fool.
I'll tell you, if you're paying me $100,000, I'll be Hannibal Lecter. I'll wear somebody's face on
And
my
somebody
face.
wheels you in.
No, I'd cut somebody's face off and I'd plaster it all over my face. All right, for $100,000? You kidding me?
You're into comic books, yes?
Yes, I am. Yeah.
Who's your favorite superhero?
If I had to pick, I would still go with Wolverine.
Wolverine?
Still an
Wolverine.
X-Men
That's a good one.
fan.
That's a good one. That's a good
Yeah,
one.
so.
What do you think of Hugh Jackman coming back?
I think it's great. Yeah, I mean, we all pretty much think of Hugh Jackman as Wolverine.
Mm.
It would be weird one day to see someone else play him, but I'm glad. I like to see him as Wolverine.
So I got a question for you. You're a comic book guy, right? So me and my boss got into this debate. He's a big comic book guy too. Older like us, a little older than me.
I don't know how old I am.
I definitely know how old you are. We were arguing about should they use Hugh Jackman, and if when they come out with the X-Men films, should they have a Wolverine at all, or start just with prior to Wolverine coming in? I was like, I think that would be a bad move for Marvel, because I think you would lose a lot of the audience you want. You're going to lose a lot of them, because a lot of them are younger than me, right? And everything they know of X-Men, they've expected a Wolverine. I agree with him that yes, Wolverine isn't the most important. X-Men, like the team isn't just Wolverine. The team is more Cyclops, Storm, Bobby, Emma, those people, right? I get it. Beast, those guys, Angel, whatever. And I would love to see an actual first class thing of them. But unfortunately, since Hugh Jackman's Wolverine and in the old television show that we used to watch in the 90s, Wolverine is very invested in that.
In to watch Wolverine.
Yeah,
the
the love triangle of Jean Grey and Wolverine and Cyclops was fucking amazing.
Still
But
one of the
since-
best ever.
Yeah.
And since we're so embedded in that, like we see that, I think if you didn't have a Wolverine off the jump, you would lose a lot.
I'd be put off.
See? And what do you? How do you feel?
I mean, because I'm, like I said, I'm such a fan of X-Men, like not just Wolverine, but just like the whole team in general. I do understand there are so many good stories they could do without him, but I think it wouldn't be the smartest choice to go ahead and have a movie without Wolverine, because like you said, the general audience, most people
Are
expect
expecting him,
Wolverine.
right? I mean, and we got
Who would play him now? Like,
now. I don't
Are they
know.
gonna try to
I'll
get
go
somebody
for it.
like-
I'll go for it if the opportunity presented. I would try
Oh,
for
yeah.
it. I'll go for it. I'm not too tall, so there we go.
Would that
That's
be
something
more
I have going
accurate?
for
I don't
That
think
would
he
be
was
more
that
accurate.
tall, right?
That'd be more
Wolverine's-
accurate.
No, he was
The
lower
character
than-
Wolverine's like 5'3", and then
Yeah,
Hugh
'cause
Jackman's like 6 something.
Yeah,
so.
he kind of changed. Like he wasn't really the greatest pick either because he was really tall. Because Wolverine's usually like the broody, smaller dude. Like the fact that he can put up a fight against big guys has kind of been his thing, So you're happy about seeing Hugh Jackman come back again?
Yeah, I'll be happy to see him. Yeah, Deadpool 3, that'll be good.
How many more movies do you think he's got? Yeah, before I mean, I'm not tired of seeing him, and he gets into hella shape for an older guy.
Yeah, but he is getting older.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, how many more movies would you like to see him in before we retire him officially? Even though we officially retired him already, and he's coming back, but whatever, neither here nor there.
No specific number. I mean, I'm excited for Deadpool 3. I think he'll still pull it off. It's Hugh Jackman, but other ones, I'm not too sure how long they'll keep going for.
I think Hugh Jackman is really, really good at. He has a very. I don't know if he can just pull off like a younger version of himself, because in Logan, right?
Yeah.
He had to play himself as a younger person. I don't know if they CGI'd his face. I don't know if they de-aged him, because I know Fox used to do all that bullshit. Or if it was just him and they dyed his hair really black and they kind of put makeup on him. But like, he actually really looked younger in that second, it was a weapon, whatever. Or
I don't remember, but
it was the clone of him, yeah. The clone of Wolverine. I'm like, hey, he actually looks really young. I don't know if it was him or not or whatever, but he could fucking pull it off. And then I think I've been waiting for him and Ryan Reynolds to do that well.
Yeah.
Because the first time was just god awful.
Yep.
Deadpool 3 should be good. Like I said, seeing them together. And
how do you rank those two movies?
Deadpool?
The first two.
I really liked them. I really like both Deadpools.
You put them together in the same scale?
Yeah, I did. You know, the first one had certain things that I really liked, and then the second one too. I'm a big X-Men fan, so it was cool to see Cable on there and do like a good job of Juggernaut, seeing Juggernaut be huge. But I liked both movies really a lot, so both of them rank really high in my books in comic book movies.
John, do you have one over the other?
I think the first one, I liked the story a little bit more.
So besides story, is there anything else you didn't like about the second one that you can recall? Quickly.
Did I say something beforehand that you're thinking about? Because I can't think of anything.
So I'll tell you what bothered me, and
what?
I would say you're more of the expert than I am. The biggest thing I did not like about Deadpool 2 was his eyes. Was Deadpool's eyes. In the first one, to me, they felt more alive. They expressed more of his emotions, and I know there was a thing about like he actually wore a mask in the second one that had like lenses stuck to the actual mask, versus in the second one, it was all kind of CGI'd. That bugged the shit out of me.
Now I'm going to pay attention to that. Next time I watch it, I'm going to pay attention to his eyes.
I didn't even...
Fucking shit out of me. And it's because I got into the acting shit. Because acting, you know how they always say, you know, eyes are the gateway to the soul and this and this. And I'm like, I pay attention to eyes. And I'm like, the first one was just fucking perfect. The second one, it wasn't bad. By no means was it bad. It was just certain things that I didn't like. And I'm like, I'm fearful of this type of film getting boring because it's the same thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, how many times can we change the story, but we have the same formula?
Yeah, I get what you mean, yeah.
It's going to get boring. I didn't want that to get boring because I like the character of Deadpool. And Ryan Reynolds plays him to a fucking... He played him so good that I see Ryan Reynolds in everything. I feel like he's going to cut somebody's head off.
Yeah.
In those stupid cell phone commercials that he owns, I feel like he's going to cut somebody's head off. That's all I see. You know, he did a wonderful job.
About it. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, and the one thing I think that they did really well was how they tied the older movies and the cutscenes at the end.
Yeah, with that
was fucking
back
awesome.
in time. Yeah.
Yeah, that was
beautiful.
Good. That was fucking great. You know what I'm talking about?
I think so. Yeah.
Like when he shoots the old Deadpool from the Wolverine movies or whatever.
Green Lantern script, yeah.
Oh yeah, he's reading the Green Lantern script and he shoots him in the head kind of shit. He's like, "You're welcome." It's great, man. That was great.
You a fan of DC too?
I do like DC. I do like all kinds of comic stuff. Like, I do have I do host the Codex podcast, so I do. Since I host a podcast about comics, I make sure to get into all kinds.
Okay, well, I didn't know it was all about that. So.
Yeah,
you saw our podcast. Focuses on comic books, all stuff comic related.
You can tell he didn't watch it.
You'll get to it. You'll get to it. I can tell you watched a series about a series. Yeah. So, yeah, there's many episodes of the Codex podcast, and then we have like a whole station, Codex Station. So there's multiple shows. So, like, there's one called Comic Character of the Day, where if there's a certain character you like there's certain episodes focusing on characters. But in the Codex podcast, they talk about like comic book news, like I said, how we talk about movies.
Right.
But then sometimes just comic books gonna come out. And we'll do a thing called like the F list. We'll take I'll find some of the worst characters in comic history, maybe like 1940 or 1960. Name a few. One of them was NFL Super Pro. He was a character that was literally just
Awful.
like in a football outfit, fighting alongside Spider-Man and Captain America.
Could it be? I'm assuming it's as bad as like, I remember I was watching Pawn Stars one day and they sold a giant-sized, it was either like Captain America versus Muhammad Ali or some
Maybe
shit
Superman
like that.
versus Muhammad Ali,
Superman versus
the
Muhammad
boxing.
Ali. And I'm like, this really existed?
Pretty good boxer.
You can't. You're gonna beat the man of steel, but well, sure. I mean, I don't even know what the comic book was about, but I just find those kind of awkward. Like those are awkward comics to me.
Another bad character was a character not too long ago. He was a Wonder Woman villain called Egg Foo, and he was like a huge egg, and it was many decades ago, and it was completely racist because like they gave him the slanted eyes, the dialogue. He didn't even say American. They made it literally say American. Like in the character that I'm like, yeah, that character will never get out of the F list. He can never be saved. That is a bad character. So.
God, I imagine there's like an endless list of
F listers.
terrible. Yeah.
It was a simpler time back then, man. It was a different time. It was a different time. Wasn't there like a Hitler comic book at some point? Like somebody like I remember some superhero like fighting, beating up Hitler. Isn't the whole thing about isn't the Nazi thing, the Red Skull and all that or whatever? Speaking of movies, we had a good movie supposedly dropped today, right? Wasn't
Guardians
dropping today?
Yeah.
How do you feel about that?
I'm excited. I always like the Guardians of the Galaxy movies. I think they're fun. They got some comedies, some action. They got some good music. I like a lot of my older music. Even on the way here, I was listening to Def Leppard.
That's kind of the thing. Yeah, they gotta have old.
Yeah, they gotta have old music, and then so I'm excited for the third one.
Def Leppard was a band, Michael.
That's not my kind of music.
I know it's not. That's why I said it.
Guardians is another one I'm fearful for the same reason with Deadpool. It's like the same formula. How many times can we see the same formula before it gets boring? Now, mind you, I'm one of those guys that say Marvel's peaked already. That's just my opinion, and we can talk about that for a minute.
Movie-wise,
yeah, obviously not comic book wise. Movie-wise, I think Marvel's kind of peaked. I think with Endgame was like the pinnacle. I don't think we ever see numbers like that again. Until maybe you bring the Fantastic Four or the X-Men, maybe might spark a little bit.
Yeah.
But I think going forward, I don't think we'll ever see numbers like that. What say you?
Yeah, one of my co-hosts, Jamie, he was saying the same exact thing you said. Like he thinks
I like him already.
Same thing, yeah. and then you meet him. No, joking.
Name that movie.
No. But he was saying the same thing, kind of like you say. He thinks Marvel's peaked, and it will be hard to top, like you said, the popularity of Endgame. But I think they could still be popular, like I said, with X-Men, Fantastic Four, but I think they should start to mix it up a little, not to do the same formula over and over, because then it becomes a little predictable. Guys, maybe throw in a little serious movie in there, something different, so that we could guess what's going to happen.
Is there a comic book character that you would like a movie about?
One that there hasn't been made.
Yeah,
hasn't been. Not the NFL guy.
Yeah, no NFL Super Pro
or Egg Foo. No Egg Foo.
And none of them. Yeah, because it's true. When you think about it now, there's been so many. You know what? I'll say a movie about him. He's been in one of the old Fantastic Fours, but I would like a Silver Surfer movie.
Like one that's actually done well.
On the Silver, like focused on him and his story. I really like the Silver Surfer.
So his story is the whole
Galactus. In there?
He was forced to be Galactus's
the hero of Galactus, and then left, and he has his own way. Yeah, I'm a big fan of the Silver Surfer. So
because it was just really done very poorly.
And no more Cloud Galactus. Yeah,
that's what it was.
Cloud.
Oh man, but Jessica Alba was hot in that movie. She was very pretty in that movie. Yeah, I also thought it was really stupid when they were switching powers like that. Like when they were tapping each other and they just like Johnny Storm's powers would go to Mr. Fantastic and vice versa. I thought it was kind of a weird.
Turn to Rogue, sucking up superpowers.
Something they were trying to test something or whatever, and then they ended up like I don't know. Those movies were really rough. Like
I don't think I ever even watched them.
You never saw either of them?
I don't think so.
Really?
Nope.
Or the one with
Fantastic Four? Nope.
or the newish one.
Oh, yeah, that one I didn't see.
No.
The one with Michael B. Jordan and I forgot who else was in it.
Fantastic Four?
Yeah.
He was in it?
Yeah. They did a nice, that was one of the first race swap things that happened in Marvel. Well, not Marvel. Marvel World.
Who did he
I guess.
play?
He played Johnny Storm.
Johnny Storm. No, I didn't watch it.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
But they
three I
changed
haven't
they
watched.
changed his backstory too. I think they said in that movie he was like adopted.
Okay, yeah, because how could he be?
Because I'm like, how can he be Sue
This is-
Storm's
yeah.
brother if
Yeah.
he's black and she's white? How does that work? But I don't know. I don't see, especially with what I've seen so far, right? And then the big name movies, Thor already dropped. I thought it was terrible. I thought the only shining light there was Christian Bale. Everything else was hard to watch.
For some reason, I like the Thor movies.
You liked it?
Yeah, I like them. For some reason, I enjoy them, yeah.
All of them, or like just say the newest one?
You know, I did enjoy the new ones. I think the third Ragnarok was my favorite, but
That one was good.
I still enjoyed Love and Thunder. Like I said, yeah, a lot of people didn't, but I still enjoyed it.
I would say Love and
Natalie
Thunder was
Portman.
good.
Who doesn't like Natalie Portman?
The third one was
Leave
good
her alone.
because it was different.
Yeah.
Right? It was funny and it hit well.
Hmm.
But when you make Thor kind of a laughable character, to me it took away from his, mind you, he's a fucking
Who
god.
he is, yeah.
It's like making Superman stupid. You can't make Superman stupid because he's a god. You know, like he is the ultimate superhero. Like you can make him bad, like evil, but you can't make him like a laugh out loud dork.
Yeah.
Even Zeus in there was a bit like silly. Like, man, it's Russell Crowe playing Zeus. I'm like, man, Zeus is come on, Zeus. So I think the next one maybe
That was bad.
a lot more
and
serious.
I love Russell Crowe, but I was like, bro, man, sometimes you can say no to a role.
Yeah.
It's okay, man. Like, you're a very talented actor. Like, why would you want to play this? But
Maybe the next
nonetheless.
one he'll be serious.
oh man, Russell Crowe. You know what Russell Crowe played well? I thought Jor-El. I thought
Oh,
he
yeah.
played really well in Man of Steel. You didn't watch Man of Steel either.
I think I did. Yeah, sure.
That movie was actually pretty good. I thought it was pretty good.
I did like it. Yeah, a lot of people gave it. They put it down, but I liked it. I enjoyed it.
I thought for between that and what was the one prior with Brandon, the guy who played
Superman Returns. Yeah, Brandon.
Superman Returns. I'm like, well, this was a hella better movie than that. But they again, nobody really thought nothing of it. I thought it was good.
Yeah.
For a first out with what was the actor's name? Who played Superman?
Henry Cavill.
Cavill. I thought Henry Cavill was a great Superman.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
He should be
100%.
Superman going forward for the rest of his career. He's like Wolverine. He's like Hugh Jackman. He should just play Superman for the rest of his fucking career.
Did you hear?
What?
Done. They already got rid of him.
No, I know they got
Yeah,
rid of him,
okay,
but
yeah.
then there was rumors that they might keep him around. Because here's the thing, I think DC is playing it very coy. I would say very like
Close to the vest.
yes.
They're not giving anything
So-
away.
They said they fired everybody,
Uh,
right? Because they wanted to refresh everything. I think they just said that so that 5 years from now, they could do what Marvel's doing now, which is bringing back old characters because that's what sells right now. Spider-Man No Way Home
Yeah,
sold
nostalgia.
because of that.
yeah.
So imagine people were pissed off because you got rid of Henry Cavill and all the Snyder stuff and Gal Gadot. You got rid of all those people. People were pissed off about it. What would make them happy? Wait a couple years, make a little bit of story here, and then you do a clash and we need another Superman. And we go get Henry Cavill. And everybody comes back. And then
But
you get a lot of
there's-
this. Right? Oh, that too, I guess that would work. But I thought it was my applause button, sorry.
Yeah.
I think that would work, right? I think that would work. I mean, it worked for Spider-Man.
Yeah, there was a
There's
comic
a template. Yeah.
called Crisis on Infinite Earths.
Yes.
Yeah, where they had all the different worlds. So that'd be a perfect way to see all the different worlds. Like I said, all the old Supermans and
Like, it would be
obviously
cool if
Batman.
you have a very evil Superman in this modern one that they're trying to build, right? He's bad, and you need another Superman to help. And I think in the game, in Injustice too, I think, or in Injustice, I think they go back in time to have another Superman or another dimensional Superman to come and fight that Superman. I think it'd be cool if you have the modern Superman, and then to stop him, you have to go with the Flash and travel somewhere and bring in Henry Cavill's Superman, bring him back to fight the evil Superman. That'd be pretty cool.
yeah, like it will be cool. Like in the Flash movie, how we're going to see the Michael Keaton Batman and the Ben Affleck Batman. So that'll deal with a little bit of going to the different worlds.
He's too old, though. It's not Michael Keaton.
Oh, yeah.
You know what? You know what the problem is? Like, I could still believe Tobey Maguire is Spider-Man. I could definitely believe Andrew Garfield can still do it. But Michael Keaton is really old. And he looks really old. And then the things that, look, first of all, he wasn't doing that crazy acrobatic shit in the original movies when he was young. And you expect me to believe that he's doing this shit now? Come on. I like that he's back, but I think he's already so far away from it. Like, he's really far. Like, he's hella farther than Tobey Maguire and those boys. He's hella far. I think I love seeing him, but he should have had a pop-in role, in my opinion. He shouldn't be flying around kicking people's asses because I'm pretty sure he's like Keanu Reeves to me right now. Keanu Reeves is in every John Wick movie kicking everybody's ass, but he's like 60 in real life and he looks it. Like, bro, you're not kicking nobody's ass in real life. I'm sorry. I mean, I don't know. I hope it does well because it looks pretty interesting. Some of the graphics are kind of weak on me. I don't know if you agree, but like,
I'd have to watch it. I have to see the trailer.
I think one thing I don't like about Batman, I don't think Batman should be in the daylight.
More darker, yeah.
Because that's the problem I had with. Do you remember? You remember the one with Tom Hardy? He played Bane. Remember that movie pretty well. So the climactic fight at the end is in the daylight, and Batman looks kind of awkward there because he's so into the shadow. Isn't that the concept, right? The shadow, blah blah blah.
He is a bad Batman.
Right. And even in Dark Knight, he should be in the dark. Yes. And what was even funnier, when you watch it now, and then since I mentioned it, you're going to be like, yeah, it looks kind of weird. His suit looks purplish in the daylight and doesn't even look black, like dark anymore. And that's like, put him in the night, man. Batman should never be in daylight. It just kind of defeats the whole concept. What other movie are you looking forward to? Superhero-wise.
Let's see, but yeah, like the Guardians of the Galaxy 3. That's what brings the one I'm looking forward to. I know there's a couple other things, and then being a comic book fan, so there's the Blue Beetle movie coming out in August.
That didn't look bad.
That one might, but the reason is I have a comic, the first appearance of the Blue Beetle, like the one that's going to be in this movie. Yeah. So the better it does.
What's his name? Carlos? No, not Carlos.
Jaime Reyes. The characters.
Yeah. Okay, I got you.
But if the movie does better, the comic value goes up. So the comic I have, the value goes up, and it means I'll have something worth a lot more money. And I paid $2 or $1 for.
Jeez, when was that? Recently?
16 years ago.
Oh,
okay. I keep things
but
in
the
good.
Blue Beetle wasn't even a thought to be a film. It's
no, because at the time it wasn't big.
You know,
but I keep everything in good condition, and then now the value, like now I could sell it for maybe $60, $70, but once the movie comes out,
if it hits hard. But then it would take some time too, wouldn't it?
Yeah. And then too, I'm like, I barely ever, I don't sell things. So as much as I may talk about it, like, oh, it's going to be worth money, I probably will end up keeping it.
You know, I think you learned that a lot of things we think are going to have value don't. Like a lot of basketball cards we have, John, none of them have fucking value, bro. Just breaking your heart right now, but
it's all right.
I'm sorry, but your dream of owning a yacht somewhere in the Caribbean is not going to happen based on the basketball collection we have.
I was hoping for a canoe.
You ever watch Family Guy? And there's an episode where fucking Megatron, he's like yelling at the Decepticons, and then one guy talks back to him. He goes, "Who are you? You don't turn into anything. You turn into a canoe." And he's like, "Well, when you're in a slow moving river, you'll call me." I don't know what movie I'm looking forward to the most. Like, I mean,
well, what are you expecting from Tim Gunn? If that's his name.
Is it Tim
James
Gunn?
Gunn.
James Gunn. I would hope good movies, but DC's reputation. Is that DC's reputation? DC sometimes I feel like they're the biggest fucking idiots in the world. Because the material, they have good material, okay? They have great comics, they have great animated series that they could literally rip from as much as they want.
Yeah.
But when your when your cartoon films are better than your cinematic films, where's the disconnect? You guys are all under the same fucking umbrella. How are you not, like, to me, Under the Red Hood is one of the greatest Batman movies I think I've seen. Love it.
Yeah, great.
Good movie. There's a newer one that had to do with like Two-Face, a two-parter. It was really good
The
too.
Long Halloween.
Long Halloween. Good movie too. All the Frank Miller ones. The Dark Knight, right? And part 1 and part 2, whatever those two. Great fucking movies.
It's just
Why doesn't it translate to fucking live action? How come the last good movies were all these movies? Were the last 3 good Batman movies? Why? You have fucking material.
Joaquin Phoenix.
That's separate, but that's a whole made up thing.
Really good movie.
It was a good movie. Did you like that movie?
Yeah, I did.
Who's better, Joaquin or this guy?
Both good in their own ways.
You gotta pick one. You gotta pick one. You gotta pick one.
I have to pick. I'll pick the Heath Ledger one.
I like it.
I do like both, but I'll pick the Heath Ledger one. But it was something when the Joker came out. You know, there was all
Which one in the Joker?
the newest
movie,
Joker one. Yeah, I remember going to the theater with my fiance and seeing security literally holding huge guns because there was a worry about shooters.
That's
really
yeah. I mean, seeing
wasn't there a big shooting when
one of
these
did
there was a big
Colorado.
shooting. Yeah, in the theater or whatever.
Yeah.
Somebody went in there and just started.
The guy with the
up.
orange hair, right?
Yeah,
Something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, I remember. The Joker movie was a very good film, right? But I hold that one separate from the overall DC universe because it didn't really have much to do with what we know of the Joker, right? Because he's not even like Arthur Fleck is a character in some comic books of Batman, and in some worlds he kind of plays the Joker. Because I think Arthur Fleck was like the first Red Hood guy or something like that or whatever. But that's not the Joker we know. And the fact that he was so old in that film compared to what Bruce is in that film, because Bruce is a little boy. How are they going to cross paths? He'd be dead. I mean, he looked really old in that film already. Like why would you age him in that film? You had to give him an age. You got to be mid-30s up to almost 40, right? And Bruce was how old in that film, would you say?
He's a kid, yeah.
He's a little boy.
10, yeah.
When are they going to fight? And those are the characters you have to have fight.
Yeah.
Without a Joker, there is no Batman. Period. Great film. I don't know how good the second one's going to be. I mean, I'm not a big fan of Lady Gaga. I think she did pretty well in that one Netflix show or Amazon or Apple show. She did pretty well.
She can do a pretty good job as Harley Quinn, though. There's something about her I could see.
There's something about Margot Robbie, too, though. Margot Robbie. There's something about Margot Robbie,
That's the gold standard right there.
It should be a hard one to beat.
Yeah, because she was just perfect. And mind you, she was a replica of the Harley Quinn of like the animated show. Like she had the voice down and everything. Like it was just perfect. Like they should have kept her. Nonetheless, we'll see. How do you feel about the Transformers film coming out?
I'm so behind in Transformers. I mean,
You've given up already?
So much given up. Just that I've fallen behind, just movie wise. There's so many movies and shows to watch.
It's okay to say we've given up. It's okay. I've given up on Michael a long time ago. I watch them if they're playing on TV. That's about it.
Yeah, but I'm gonna say like, I don't want to put it down because I haven't seen the other ones. But yeah, I saw the first 2, and then just the third one came out, and then before I knew it, it was like another one, and so I'm pretty lost.
Did you watch Beast Wars when you were a kid? The cartoon show?
Yes, I did, right? Like they'd say if it was like a cheetah and then it could turn to So I used to have a few of those figures, yeah.
I had a few of those figures, those were cool. So this movie is Rise of the Beast, which is going to involve those characters, which mind you, I'm probably gonna, again, nostalgia, right?
Yeah.
I'm probably gonna watch it just because I remember those characters. But then when you don't do it right, and you've tried so many times with the same formula, like big robot, big explosion, boy loves girl. I'm tired of the shit. Like, I would have loved for them to do the Beast Wars story the way it was in the cartoon.
That would have been cool.
Like the cartoon story. Do you remember watching that?
Yeah, I'm waiting for the VR Troopers.
That's not gonna happen.
No,
we could barely get a Power Rangers movie out. That's good, and that
VR
show was hella
Troopers.
longer than VR Troopers was. I know it's the same thing, Saban and all that crap, but how do you feel about Power Rangers? You're a Power Ranger fan?
I did, yeah. Grew up in the 90s, so I did love, Mighty Morphin Power Rangers.
Did you watch the reunion thing, the anniversary thing?
I did not see it yet. Did you guys see it?
I saw it. I'm gonna watch. I was a huge fan. I mean, I got a Power Ranger helmet tattooed on my leg. I'm definitely watching that shit.
No,
which color, which Ranger did he have?
See, I was a Tommy guy, So I was either white, green, or red Zeo, I think. He was a bunch of other colors.
You usually think of him as white or green, though.
Yeah, white or green. Well, he's more I would say he's more popular for the green. That's like the one color, because that's the interesting part. He hit so hard here in the States that they put his character in without it actually being in the show. So you know how like that show was like all Japanese footage that they took, right? So the Green Ranger series, a saga, that 1 week saga, that was like the most amazing thing ever when we were kids. Like I was running home every day to watch that shit. That happened, and that's in the Japanese show. That's the last time he's actually there. Never comes back. But we liked him here in the States so much that, and they wanted to keep Jason David Frank. They created the character in the American show and just recycled the footage. Like everything is like recycled beautifully.
The same hit over and over.
Yeah, like the same things are usually recycled. Whatever. A lot of times you don't really see the Green Ranger fighting against the monster of the episode, because that never really happened in the episode.
Yeah.
Right? He normally comes in at the end of the fight to help out, and the Dragon Zord is there or whatever, and they just show like long shots. But that reunion show, I didn't think it was bad. A lot of people said it was garbage. I just don't know what you expected from a Power Ranger show. It wasn't necessarily a movie. It was like an extended show. Like, what do you expect? Like, if they made a VR Troopers show, anniversary thing, 1 hour special.
I just want to say VR Troopers. I don't even remember the show. I remember it being like a ripoff of...
Isn't it We Are VR?
We Are VR. Huh? We Are VR. Yeah.
And didn't they like go into like this...
Computer
what was there like
or something?
Yeah, but
like
what was their like command center?
I don't remember.
That one, I don't remember that show.
I remember it vaguely because it was before Power Rangers. I remember Power Rangers really well, and like Beetleborgs when that came out, but that was garbage. Beetleborgs was such garbage that they used because it was like Power Rangers, right? Like kids that would morph into these metal suits or whatever and fight bad guys. It was such garbage that the metal suits, they used them as bad guys in Power Rangers.
Oh, jeez.
But anyways, you looking forward to any other, like a Disney film, one of the like Little Mermaid, for example? Are you excited about that?
Not too exciting. Maybe if a kid wants to see it, they could watch it. But
did you watch Super Mario?
Yeah, I do want to see.
That's
Super
a good movie
because I like Mario. So
you watched it,
I do want to see it.
Yeah.
Did you watch the leak that everybody saw on Twitter?
What?
Some of my friends like saw the entire film like on Twitter or something. They're like, oh, the leak. There's like some leak on either on Twitter or on Instagram, and they saw the entire fucking thing, and I'm like, wow, it didn't get shut down.
It was more for kids. Didn't have
what
much
did you
of
expect
a
it to
be? A little bit more
Toy Story,
a little bit more Jack Black, but
Jack Black was pretty funny in that.
Yeah, but I don't know. Yeah, it was more geared for kids.
So you weren't really like how people are like
blown away by it. No,
graphic wise, I thought it was great.
Oh yeah,
graphic wise, I thought that was by far
story wise, maybe because they didn't have good writing. Yeah.
No, I don't think that was the problem with that film.
No,
I'm gonna tell you what the problem with that film was.
What?
I don't think a Mario film should exist because we're talking about Super Mario. How deep is that story in reality? He runs from the left to the right, jumps on blocks, crushes things, little turtles, and saves the princess at the end. That's all he does. How much story can we build off that?
Yeah, it's more meant to be fun.
Yeah, I mean, it's just like.
I mean, do you have kids? Then, yeah, don't bother.
I mean, if you're a fan of Super Mario, I mean, I went to see it as a fan. I went to watch it as a fan. I won't go watch it twice.
No.
You know, I'm not doing this with the thing or whatever. Yeah. The ding, 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 ding. I'm not doing that. But I mean, I went to watch it because I mean, I played the game.
I'd rather watch the reruns of Robot Chicken.
That's pretty funny.
Yeah.
That's funny. The bad thing is they're gonna make a universe out of that. So I think they're gonna make a Kirby. They're gonna make a Kirby. They're gonna make a Donkey Kong separate. Metroid, I heard was gonna be involved in that or whatever, and then they're gonna come together to fight some ultimate bad guy like Thanos.
Super Smash Brothers.
That's what the movie's gonna be called, like Super Smash Brothers at the end or whatever. You a gamer?
I do play something, not as much. Like now, it seems like when I play games, it's mostly to play a little bit and study my script. So
it's gotten boring, hasn't it?
It's just time wise. I'm just focused on so many other things. So
other things have gotten your attention.
Yeah. So I mean, I'm like their games are still cool. Just I don't have as much time to play them.
Does everything.
That's true.
But the one show I am excited about is, remember how we were talking about X-Men earlier? X-Men the animated series.
The 98 thing?
97, yeah.
If it ever fucking comes out, it got delayed.
Delayed again, yeah. So
again recently?
Yeah, now they're saying possibly 2024.
Come on, man. Like Marvel, look at Marvel's fucking problem. I'm gonna be very blunt. They were doing well when they were just doing films. Okay? They have so much stuff, right, that I feel is unnecessary. We have all these fucking TV shows, all these films, and the quality is dropping because of it, right? Because you only have, I think Marvel's very like, they obviously probably hire in-house. They probably don't, every writer that they have is probably under their roof, whatever. You only have so many writers, right? To do how many shows?
So what, they're overextending?
Oh, they were. That's one of that's the thing. Yeah,
shows.
they literally said that that's one of the reasons why these movies sucked, was because, like, for example, they said that they spent so much time on Black Panther, the second one,
yeah,
right? Because that one looked good, that one looked the part. That Doctor Strange struggled with the visual department, or was it Doctor Strange or Love and Thunder? One of the whatever. But you can't have so many things. You know what I'm saying? Like They should focus back on what their bread and butter is. Let's make Marvel films. Forget the TV shows. Do we need a TV show? Did you watch any of them?
Some of them, but then like I said, I fell a little behind because it was like I'm watching and it seemed like every month there was a new show. I'm like, okay, I'm caught up now. Okay, we have 2 more new shows.
But that proves the quality, because if it's not gripping, if it doesn't make you want to watch it, then it's not that good. And is it necessary? Like, which one did you watch?
I did watch Hawkeye and Loki.
Loki was good. You saw Loki, right?
I saw the one episode you made me watch.
Which one did I make you watch?
The first one.
Why? Why the first one of all of them?
I don't know.
I thought Loki was good. I thought WandaVision was right?
I thought it started super slow,
yes,
then picked up. So I was almost going to be done with it after the first one.
I mean, I
stuck
kind of
with
like
it.
the concept of them being in different sitcom kind of shit. I thought that was kind of clever, per se. Again, another show that didn't need to exist, because of what happened in the show. Nothing changed. Yeah, she did that, and I guess it has a little bit to do with a Doctor Strange film, but like, if you eliminate WandaVision, same thing happens.
You can still go on with the
Correct.
story.
Yeah. Like, I think they should say, fuck the TV shows. We don't fucking need them. I mean, the Captain America show was garbage. It was god awful.
And
Falcon and
Winter Soldier.
That was terrible. That one was terrible. Loki 2's coming out soon. I might watch that. But besides that, I don't want to watch none of that shit. I just want good films again. Overall.
We've gotten to the point like where we have gotten spoiled, where we have so much to watch and say we don't want to, like, even I think about, like, I'd say when we were kids, we had no shows with like live action shows.
Dude,
now there's just so much.
My boss tells me, he'll talk to me about old films, and did you watch this? No. How could you not? I mean, I barely had a VCR, bro. Barely. Now everything's at your fucking fingertips.
Yeah.
One thing I have to ask you, since I know you're a Gary Oldman fan,
yes,
but I've never heard you mention the movie.
Which one?
Have you seen Bram Stoker's Dracula?
Yes. No, I've seen parts of that film. I have never finished that film.
Man.
I haven't finished that film. I know he played Dracula.
My favorite Dracula is that one.
Yeah, because he's like
all the different looks.
I'm trying to. There's a look that I really put with that film, and it's like a really unique kind of
with the big hair.
Yeah. And it's like I remember that movie. I never finished it, but I remember that. It's that Gary Oldman's so fucking good. John, we're going to talk about Gary Oldman right now.
And then we'll talk about Arnold.
We'll talk about Arnold. That'll be the last 2 topics that we talk. Maybe we'll talk about Jerry Springer before we finish up, because we forgot to talk about him last week. Because he's dead. He gone.
What's he going to say
You
about
stood
that?
next to Jerry. We were there at the show. We went to a Jerry Springer show. It was great. You remember that experience?
Yeah.
Did you have fun?
No.
Was it everything?
No fights.
Huh?
No
It's
fights
fake.
on the show.
It's fucking fake.
We all made a pact that we were all gonna say something, and nobody.
He's the only one that ponied up.
Yeah.
Mind you, I was very young back then. I wasn't as forthcoming as I am now.
Yeah.
But what the fuck were we gonna talk before the Jerry Springer thing?
Gary Oldman.
Gary Oldman, Dracula.
Great actor. Distinctive characters and everything he fucking plays. I think that's what makes him great.
Okay.
what's your case for Arnold?
I mean, he's
He has
known
muscles?
worldwide, whereas people in the United States don't even know who Gary Oldman is.
What?
You heard me.
Is he correct or is he incorrect?
They should know Gary Oldman.
They should know. I mean, should and do are two different things.
Because now, and especially nowadays,
He's gonna retire too. I'm sad.
He's retired, right?
He's going. I think he's retiring soon. He mentioned he was almost done.
nowadays, yeah, like stars, it isn't the same where, we grew up like, oh, we like actors or musicians or sports athletes.
Yeah.
Now it's a lot of, oh, this influencer, this person who made a 10, 15-second video.
Oh, I don't
The
get
celebrities are different now
it.
than
I do
back
not
in the day.
get it.
Like Logan Paul, those guys, like they're
Yeah.
famous off of all that bullshit.
But they must have done something before, right? Weren't they like Disney kids or something like that?
not
Nickelodeon?
The Paul kids?
Yeah.
The Paul brothers? No. They were just dudes on fucking YouTube.
No, they were like Nickelodeon kids or something.
No. I think you're confusing him with like the Mickey Mouse Club and Brittany and Justin.
No. Look it up.
And a lot
Look
of
it
those-
up. You're the one with the phone.
No,
I hired
know I'm
Norman.
right.
I fired you last week or 2 weeks ago because you're not putting up your research clause.
Yeah, a lot of those people too. Like, let's say you're like, how do they get so lucky on YouTube or TikTok? They come from families that have so much money to put towards advertising their videos, so that's why they get lucky over everybody else.
Yeah.
I mean, I did that once. I paid $20 to get one of our videos going, and it never really.
On what?
I forgot
On
which
TikTok?
one. Yeah.
I told you not to fuck with that shit, bro. Leave that shit alone.
I mean, it did jump up a little bit. We didn't get to like the 100,000 mark. Like
That's
some other
impossible.
people do.
That's crazy, man. Like it's. I really admire YouTubers that fucking like you can go back in their video catalog and like you watch their first video and it's like crappy.
You can tell the qualities.
Yeah,
I
like-
like the stories like that. To see they work their way up.
Like one of the guys that I mean I'm not into gym shoes like I used to be, but I used to be into like Jordans and stuff like that. So there's a guy, his YouTube name is like Nightwing2303 or something like that. And he's like, when other people do shoe reviews, they reference him like the godfather of shoe reviews, right? Of like
Yeah.
of gym shoe, basketball shoe reviews. And I'm like, that's cool because I remember when I first ran into him, like he was just in front of his couch talking about whatever shoe he had on. And then slowly progressing to the point where, like, he gets shoes sent to him from Converse, Jordan, blah, 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 this and this. He's played at Michael Jordan's house, whatever, all this crazy shit. And I'm like, that's a cool
It's his
story.
job now, right?
Yeah, of course. That's his 9 to 5 right there.
Nice.
To just sit at your house and do content. That's everybody's dream, right?
Every now and then we'll get some comic books, more like digital stuff. But we're hoping one day it'll be nice when they start sending us like those expensive ones.
Those are cool.
Yeah.
John, we need to get your kids on this,
I know.
man. Your kids are the
How about
key.
that little Korean kid who makes like 20
How about
million
your
a
little
year?
half Puerto Rican, half Dominican kid? Let's get him on one of these and hopefully he strikes gold.
Just start fighting with each other. And
That's great.
It'll,
Somehow that
it'll all
sells
go to
too.
hell.
That sells.
Nah.
The best podcasts I've ever seen are usually ones where people are fucking arguing about some shit.
Gotta get
As stupid as that
somebody
might be.
arguing, somebody
Why do you think
knocking
Jerry
out.
Springer was so fucking popular, bro? It wasn't because he had the best content or the most in-depth stories. Because people were fucking fighting over the dumbest shit.
Poor guy. I wonder if people actually know that he was like a governor or a senator. Or
He was a
something.
senator. He was a senator.
Senator, right?
He was into politics, yeah. And then,
That wrote a check to a prostitute.
oh yeah,
Yeah.
you're right. Yeah, he was trying to. Yeah, that's kind of what messed up his career. And then he
Yeah.
started doing
Jerry Springer.
the news. He was on the news. I think he was part of I don't say WGM, but like one of the news is here. And then
Yeah.
they got him into the whole thing. And it was him and
I think it was here.
Who?
Cincinnati?
what was here?
I think his show was in Cincinnati or
Which show?
the
Jerry Springer show?
news.
Oh, the news one?
Yeah.
I remember him and it was like a competition between him and the other guy with the mustache. They got punched. Geraldo.
Yeah.
And there's like a really big thing about him getting hit or somebody threw a chair and hit him in the
In a
face
big
or some
fight,
bullshit.
Yeah, his nose broken.
And
yeah.
that was like they put that as the start of like the Jerry Springer era of that time because that's kind of what went crazy. And then Jerry just ran with that shit.
trash TV.
Yeah. And then it went into wrestling because there's a time in WWF wrestling where the writer, he would just watch Jerry Springer and fucking make that.
The Attitude Era.
Yeah, were you a wrestling fan?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah?
Big
Who's your favorite wrestler of all time? I know it's hard to say too, but...
I would say Stone Cold.
Stone Cold? Good,
Stone
good
Cold
one.
fan.
John, I don't know if we care. Do we care? Who's your favorite?
I like Macho Man.
One. Pick one.
Macho Man.
Macho Man? Okay, I can get behind that one. I can get behind that
I
one.
do a great Macho
No, you
Man.
don't.
No,
Please don't.
He does
Please.
a good Macho Man.
No, he does a great Arnold Schwarzenegger. I would say my favorite wrestler all time. No. I like CM Punk. I think he was one of the best overall wrestlers. Like, he was good in the ring, great on the mic. Didn't have the greatest look, I guess, depending on what you like as a wrestler. But I think he had the overall package. Plus, he hit really hard at some points in his career. Even now, he's still kind of relevant when he's not, when he shouldn't
He's
be
not in
relevant.
trouble.
When
He
he
just
shouldn't-
sticks to wrestling.
Oh my
He
God.
does
Like,
really
I
good.
swear to you, he needs to just stop. And just, dude, like, you are still one of the most popular wrestlers right now, and you've only wrestled a handful of times and been suspended and not seen for years. Like, just relax. Just go
Stay
wrestle.
away from UFC because no luck there.
Yeah.
Oh God, he was terrible. He was god awful.
I went to one of the events live, his second fight live. I mean, I'm a huge
That one was even
mixed martial
worse.
arts. Yeah, I'm a huge mixed martial arts fan too. So that just happened to be on the card.
See, now
And
we
He was like,
could have talked about that the whole show.
What about how bad he was in MMA?
How I could have beat him in MMA. I saw him in person. And he's small. Get out of here.
He's not his training though.
What training?
You don't have
it didn't
training.
show.
Against
It
another
did not
professional
show.
fighter, yes.
Mickey
you are not.
Gall was like 20 years old.
and
Am
the
I
other
right?
guy,
But Mike,
Mickey
he was
Gall was a
young.
young
Mickey
guy.
Gall has fought. He fought amateur for
And
a
the
long
other
time.
guy was a super
The other guy-
journeyman. Like,
Mike Jackson
Mike
was
Jackson.
0-1.
yeah.
He was
Hey,
on
hold
one
on,
of
hold on. Wait a minute. Time out. Again.
God, I remember that before that fight happened, he was like, "Oh yeah, I just had a dream where I ended it with a head kick and this and that." And I was like, "A head kick?"
Listen, John.
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you the truth. I know you're a big guy. I know when you bench, the bar looks like it's bending. I get it. I get it. I understand. You
I
have a
know
lot
that,
of.
that doesn't translate.
I got
to
you.
Good fighting or anything like that.
Have you ever trained in your life?
Yeah.
No. Have you ever gotten training?
Gotten training?
Yes. Okay. So you've never had someone teach you how to throw a punch, how to take a punch, how to defend the grapple.
Self-trained.
That's
I've been watching the UFC since they had like $20 pay-per-views on Friday nights.
and somehow
I'm talking
that
about-
translates into
I
training.
used to read magazines.
I watch
I
professional
started-
wrestling all the time. Does it mean that I know how to run the rope and jump off of it and do a somersault off? And
Sure you do.
Yeah, without killing
Couple
myself.
steps, bam,
No, fucking
couple
kid.
more.
No, I'm talking about doing some shit like freaking the
You
freaking
know how
Mexican
to do it. You're
luchadors.
just not athletic enough. That's what it is.
Listen, CM Punk has training, some kind of training, and he had really good training because he was with Rufus or those guys. He had really good training. You have zero. Now, yes, you're a bigger guy than him. Yes, I think you would overpower him. Yes, I agree. But I think you're underestimating the fact that he has some training and you don't. I think he can actually defend himself. You can't.
Look, I'm a realist.
No,
If
you're
I
not.
could beat him, if I could beat him, I would tell you I can't beat him. But I'm telling you, I could beat him.
Let's bring him out. CM Punk.
CM Punk, guys.
I think I did it one time. I said if you want to come over
No
here.
bullshit. He's full of shit. He was. Hey, the thing was that we went to C2E2, right? And CM Punk was there. So I went to go see Amy Jo Johnson, and CM Punk was there. So I'm waiting in line to get CM Punk's autograph, and this guy's just whispering in the back, like, "I'll whoop his fucking ass. I'll beat his ass. I'll beat his ass." Like, let him come over here. And I'm like, why didn't you say that over here?
Well, I didn't go up to him.
You should have paid $20 to fucking tell him.
Nah.
Tell him
why?
yourself.
Bum.
I think he beats your ass. What do you think of the current state of wrestling? Do you watch wrestling nowadays?
But for now, I'm more watch some of the big events, and then I do go back and watch more of the old events. That's like as I like exercise on my exercise bike. I'll put on old events, like some more Attitude Era stuff.
Sure.
But every now and then I'll see some of the now stuff, like WrestleMania, Royal Rumble, and I'll say story wise, not the best now, but wrestling wise, just like actual wrestling matches, I think they do put on amazing matches now.
I think AEW puts on some crazy matches.
They do put, yeah, they get
I think
pretty
they
wild
are the
and they get
modern.
cut.
They are the modern day.
Who's that guy
WCW.
they brought in that's doing
Talking to the mic. How
Who's
are
that
you new?
guy they brought in with the Vikingo?
What? Who? Who brought who in?
Vikingo.
Who brought who in?
I don't know. He wrestled in AEW one time, but he was doing like triple flips
A
off.
lot of them
top
that do that
rope.
shit over there. They do crazy
No.
shit over there.
I'll show you videos.
No, but in AEW, there's a lot of people that do like the. There's these two. There's the one Mexican guy who wears the mask. He's like he's face painted. Wears like a black outfit or whatever. Him and his partner are fucking ridiculous. The fucking the two brothers that kick people, super kick people. What the fuck are they called? Oh
Young
my
Bucks?
god, huh? The Young Bucks. They fucking fly like a motherfucker. Now, mind you, they're getting a little old.
You got to watch this guy.
No, I'm pretty sure, but
I think he was doing indie wrestling, and then they brought him in for one match at AEW, and he was just doing the craziest things that I've never seen before in my life.
like you can't. I mean,
Is he the one like cutting somebody up with the pizza cutter or no?
No, I don't think so.
wasn't that the guy who fought Will Arnett?
They
What's
have
his
two
name?
recently.
That.
They had a thing on Beyond the Dark Side of the Ring about
Actually,
him.
he wrestled David Arquette.
yeah.
He accidentally cut his neck. And bleeding. Yeah, oh man, it's getting to me. But I can't remember his
Bro,
name.
they had like a light bulb match or
yeah.
a fluorescent
I
tube
nicked-
match,
I nicked my jugular.
bro.
Yeah.
But that dude was crazy, bro. Nick Cage, that's his
Yeah, there
name.
you go.
Nick Cage, bro. They used to do like a lot of backyard wrestling shit.
Oh, okay.
And he was famous for bringing that fluorescent light bulb match or whatever the fuck they call it. So he's fighting outside in some parking lot or whatever. And like, I think he cuts his throat or something gets cut really bad.
Yeah.
And like,
His
this dude
side
still
guy, yeah.
wants to go back. I'm like, are you fucking, like, they're telling you, you're fucking gonna bleed out,
Jesus.
bro.
Love for wrestling.
And he's still doing it, I think. I swear I saw a Nick Cage thing not too long ago. I'm like, these people, and he's old. He's not even young. He's an older dude. I'm like, I don't understand what it is with older wrestlers and wanting to die
They want to
in
have
the
a
ring.
grabber in the ring. Yeah.
They don't want to just like when you love something so much. I think they just don't want to give it up. Like I'd rather die
Chris
doing it
Jericho.
than live on.
Chris Jericho, he needs to let it go. He doesn't look the greatest right now. I mean, I know he's still relevant and he's still good on the mic and whatever, but figure-wise, he doesn't look all that great anymore.
Stick to Fozzy
Yeah.
from Sing.
I mean, I'll tell you
Sting
what, though.
is still in there.
Oh,
Sting, one of my favorites. He's
Steve Williams, good old
Looking out
Steve Williams is
there.
still
Jeez.
fucking wrestling right now. He's still wrestling.
crazy.
Jeff Hardy just needs to stop because he gets arrested every other month.
Stop what?
Drinking and driving.
DUIs?
Yeah, he needs to stop with that shit. Fucking Matt Hardy's old. He's not young as springtime either.
beat.
Yeah, that was the greatest fucking storyline
It was hilarious. Yeah.
ever, bro. You remember
Kind of, sort of.
when he was broken Matt Hardy?
Yeah, where he was just going crazy. Yeah.
Yeah, he had like this British
Yeah.
accent or whatever.
Yeah.
And that was the really like the coolest thing I think that came out of Impact Wrestling. You know what's fucked up about Impact Wrestling? It was so big at one point. Like it was huge, right?
It was really making its way up. And
it was huge. One of the places I play with my Sunday league, they hold Impact fucking events there.
Now?
Yes.
Oh.
And you know how I noticed it one day? So I'm playing basketball on a Sunday, right? And I mind you, I play in these little as city leagues. I'm playing basketball, and on the chairs that we're sitting on, it says Impact Wrestling, and I'm like, "Is this the
How did this
Impact?"
get here?
You're telling me freaking Bubba Ray Dudley was still here? That motherfucker still wants to wrestle too.
Yeah.
Bubba Ray has no, like, he's still hanging on to the 2 or 3 strands of hair that he got left. He still thinks he's young as shit. I don't understand. I think they all saw Hulk Hogan do it for so long and Ric Flair that they want to be like them. Like, I wouldn't want to be like
Well,
that.
Hulk
bro.
Hogan didn't do anything extravagant, right?
Sure, but he was old. His last
No,
couple
I get
matches,
that,
he
but
was old.
his wrestling style wasn't like
go off the
doing
ladders or
flips.
anything.
No, he wasn't
And mind you,
climbing on the top rope and jumping off.
and that's to show you, imagine the people that did that, because Hulk Hogan was really fucked up at the end of his career. Like, his back
Yeah.
was all
No, he's
fucked
bad.
up, and he was in a high flyer. All he did was, I guess he landed on his ass a lot with that big.
He did pick up Andre the Giant a couple times. That can't be good for you.
I mean, I don't know with these guys. I think they need to let it go. Like, let it go. Now, Bad Bunny's in the WWF. Did you see that?
Mm-hmm.
He's fighting Damian Priest tomorrow.
Very believable.
I know.
That he can hold his own.
When a guy who's like
Oh,
almost
yeah.
7 foot tall, and the other guy's like almost 300 pounds. Bad Bunny's like 5'4". Oh my
He's a
god.
little bit taller. He's just thin.
Yeah, but still, it's fucking
Hey,
Bad Bunny,
He
bro.
likes doing it.
You know what? I'll give him credit. He legitimately likes the sport. Like I noticed in a lot of his music,
It's just
in a lot of his music, he mentions a lot of like wrestlers and whatever. So I'm like, you know what?
He had Ric Flair in one of his videos.
And Stone Cold Steve
before.
Austin too.
And Stone Cold.
Mhm. Like I'll give him credit. At least he fucking like he looks like he's not doing it for a cash grab. He looks like
No,
I mean, he's
he
doing it for
legit-
cash, but he actually looks like he likes.
He
it.
doesn't need the cash. You know how much money he gets for every
Yeah,
concert
but they're
he
not gonna
does?
fucking. If you're not gonna do that for
They're not gonna
free.
do it for free. I get that, but I don't think he's doing it because of the money for sure.
You know what's fucked up? So obviously he's Puerto Rican, right? And Spanish is his first language.
Yeah.
So the English part of his language is a little more shaky. Yes. So the guy he's fighting is also Puerto Rican, but he's Puerto Rican like us, Damian Priest.
Yeah.
So Damian Priest has the opposite problem.
No, his Spanish is pretty good.
No,
Yeah,
he's
it is.
fucking god awful.
No, it's not bad.
Bro, he was on Chente's podcast 2 days ago.
Not good.
Oh my God. Bro, why would you agree to that? And then you're going to go into a room.
Super Spanglish.
So Puerto Ricans talk very fast in Spanish, right? And you know when you're talking to a like I talk Spanish, John kind of talks Spanish, but when I talk to someone from the island,
They're zooming.
yeah, I feel like I don't know what I'm saying, right? So why would you go knowing that your Spanish is kind of and you go on a podcast full of Puerto Ricans?
It's a little J-Lo-y.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'll
just
bring
like
a
that.
translator. Like I'm learning Spanish. I'm trying to learn it, and just because I want to learn another language.
The
And
Ben
then,
Affleck thing. He just got caught talking Spanish, and he supposedly was pretty good at it.
Oh, yeah.
yeah, it's the same. I'm trying, and then to my fiance, she's Mexican, and then someone from her family speaks Spanish, so I definitely want to speak it.
Is it your
And-
fiance? She's
Yeah, but she's Mexican.
Oh, she's Mexican.
And then a lot of people don't realize, but I'm actually half Mexican. So,
Oh.
so I'm half Mexican, and then
Fooled
my
me.
white side is English and Irish. So most people
see
tell
that.
me,
I see
See,
that.
they say
I see
that,
it, yeah.
and most people say, "Oh, Italian, you look like you could be in the mob." I said, maybe one day in a movie, maybe one day in a movie, especially more when I had my beard shaved. But
You look like
I
that.
like to speak a little.
You remind me of that actor. He was in the newer Star Trek films. The guy who played Scotty in the newer Star Trek films. Damn it, I gotta have to look this up. You kind of remind me. You kind of have that look. I mean, I'll show you before you leave, but you have that look.
Oh, the English guy?
Yeah, the English guy. Who's the actor's name?
Simon Pegg?
Yes, I kind of see it.
think
I think that's it. It's Simon. I think it's Simon.
the
Pegg.
guy in the zombie movie.
Yes.
With the other chubby guy.
Uh-huh.
Okay, I got you.
I feel like you
I'll
gotta
have
give me
to
that
see.
vibe.
I'll
You
have
give me
to
that
see
vibe. Cool. So I know we talked a lot about random bullshit.
Where we are now.
oh, cool, good,
Hour
nice
and
to
a half.
sit
Hour and a
back,
half.
hang out, and have a good time.
Jesus.
Did you have a good time?
I had a good time. I'm glad I got to come here. Like I said, I watch you guys, so
Cool,
I put
appreciate
out
it.
the message like, hey, I'll see if I can get on there when there was openings. So
Cool,
now
we have a fan. I
I've
like
been
it.
here. Yeah, I'll keep checking out episodes, and let me know if you ever want me back. I know usually you have people on once, but
No,
if
no,
ever,
no.
I'd be back on
We
again.
have people come back on. I think what I would like to
3-4
do.
times?
What I would like to do one day is what I told get her name. We were talking about we should like watch a film and come in and review it on the podcast.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I think we should do that. And I think if we're gonna do a Marvel film or a superhero film, like let's say The Flash, I think he would be a great person to have on because he's got a very good understanding of the characters. Would you be up for that?
I'd be up for reviewing a film. Yeah.
Right on, right on. And if you, one of your, I know you have a couple people that work with you on your podcast as well. If they would like to come on and have a chat, if you want to come with them, I have like I think I have 3 more, maybe 2 more podcasts left, and then we're gonna take a break because he's gonna go on vacation. So we'll probably pick up like after you're going on vacation in what? August? July? July. So we're probably gonna pick up back up in August. And we'll make some time. Cool.
Sounds good. Yeah.
Cool.
Sounds good.
Where can people reach out to you if they want to reach out to you?
Oh yeah. So I'm available on Facebook, but on Instagram I am at Kruger Sonny, and then on Wattpad if you want to check out my stories, I am Sonno the writer. Yeah, but pretty much most places I'm at Kruger Sonny.
All right,
Yeah.
cool.
And your materials on YouTube, right? Your short film, I mean, your series is on.
Series by Series is on YouTube. And then if you want to check out my podcast, the Codex Podcast is on YouTube, but it's easier to find if you look up the Codex Station, because it has all the podcasts that we go with. And also, yeah, I forget about TikTok because I'm somebody who
uses TikTok.
Yeah, I'm trying to, I got to push myself to make it. It'd be, Son of the Writer. Yeah, I think that's it.
I think we have
Shows
one
how much
too.
I'm into it.
I feel like we have one. Do we, John?
I put videos on there from time to time. Those snippets.
Freaking slacker. I want to say thank you for coming down. We appreciate you taking some time with us, having a few laughs, a few conversations. Again, we'll get you back on. Jonathan,
Yeah.
you got anything else?
Talking to you guys, I feel like I got to brush up on my comic book stuff.
You call yourself a fan? Are you an X-Men fan for
I've
real?
never called myself a fan.
Okay, my mistake.
Of the cartoon? Yeah. But I'm not a comic book guy, but I guess I got to be now.
Yes, you do.
I'd be more than happy to help you out.
Yeah.
There you go. Hey.
I got to watch his podcast.
There you go. Hey.
Gotta do.
They do talk a lot about comic books and all that, and a lot about the characters. Might be something.
Yeah, I'm going to give
them a
look.
subscribe.
Yeah, for sure.
You good, John?
Yeah.
Sir? Good time? Everything
Thank
good?
you. Great time. Great time. Thanks for having me.
Cool. Okay, we're going to sign out. That's going to be our show for tonight. Like, comment, and subscribe. Remember, everything we said is in our opinion. And take care of yourself and each other.